Today, the 10th day of Kislev, first of all we should start with a good Yom Tov. Chassidim worldwide celebrate the Chag HaGeula, the liberation of the Mitteler Rebbe. The Mitteler Rebbe was the second of the Chabad Rabbeim, son of the Alter Rebbe, who in the year 1826, 55-87, was released from prison due to his activities of spreading Yiddishkeit. But let me tell you the background story to that. Reb Pinchas Reitzes, the Chassid of the Mitteler Rebbe, when he passed away, his only heir was a nephew of his. Amongst the possessions that he found was a letter that the Mitteler Rebbe sent to Reb Pinchas Reitzes asking him to be on the committee to distribute the 4,000 rubles that he collected for support of poor families, which was a substantial amount of money. The nephew showed this letter naively to a cousin of the Mitteler Rebbe, a guy by the name Lipman. When he saw this, and this Lipman was a total evil individual, and he saw here a great opportunity to benefit from it. He sent a message to the Mitteler Rebbe that he is requesting from him an important sum of money, and if he's not going to give it to him, he will actually denounce him to the authorities, blackmailing him. Mitteler Rebbe said, "There's no way you're getting any money. I haven't done anything illegal, and just stop it." Upset, he now went and corroborated the whole story. He had professionally changed this amount of 4,000 ruble to 104,000 ruble, which was an astronomical sum at that time, and creating accusations that the Mitteler Rebbe is supporting the Turkish Empire against the Russian government or against the Tsar. In addition, he said that the Beis HaMedrash of the Mitteler Rebbe is built according to the description, the design of the Beis HaMikdash, and he made himself a throne. In other words, he considers himself king. On Saturday night, on the 28th day of Tishri, investigators showed up at the house of the Mitteler Rebbe to search for incriminating evidence. At the time, a large crowd gathered, and everybody was very concerned about the safety. The only one who didn't seem to show any concern was the Mitteler Rebbe himself. In fact, he went into another room and he sat down and wrote a deep discourse on Chassidic teachings. After he finished writing this discourse, he notified that he is ready to receive his Chassidim as usually on Yechidus. But then eventually, he was arrested the next day actually, and he was brought to Vitebsk, into prison in Vitebsk. He was placed under tight security because the formal charge was rebellion against the government. The Rebbe was jailed for 1 month and 10 days, but right from the beginning on, he was granted certain privileges. He was allowed to have 3 people with him in prison constantly. 3 times a day, 20 people were allowed to join the Mitteler Rebbe for services, Shachas, Mincha, Ma'ariv. He was also permitted to deliver Chassidic discourses in front of 50 people inside the prison. And this came because the doctor testified that for the Mitteler Rebbe, if he will not be able to write, teach, or daven, and share Chassidic discourse, this is extremely detrimental to his health. Because the health of the Mitteler Rebbe was all about teaching Torah, teaching Chassidus. Eventually, when it came the day of the hearing, which actually took place in the minister's private office, the Mitteler Rebbe dressed himself in white Shabbos finery. When he came into the room, the minister was so impressed by the angelic appearance of the Mitteler Rebbe that he ordered his servants to offer the Mitteler Rebbe a chair for doing the deliberations. During the proceedings, with Lipman throwing all his accusations, at one point he addressed the Mitteler Rebbe and he said, "Rebbe!" So the Mitteler Rebbe turned around with a smile and said, look, he's accusing me of being a charlatan, to being a revolutionary, yet he calls me Rebbe. They all saw that all this is just all created as falsehood. All the accusation was thrown out, and at the 10th day of Kislev, the Mitteler Rebbe was released. And he was released when he was saying the chapter 55, Psalm 55 of the Tehillim, saying the words, Podo b'sholom nafshi. He has saved my soul in peace. So Rabbeinu Shalom, this is Chag HaGeula. May we all merit the ultimate Geula, the ultimate redemption with Mashiach.